Today I'm going to attempt to survive 100 days in Minecraft Hardcore on a deserted island. The rules! I must not leave the island, only for the exception of getting to the end, and maybe some sugar. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, maybe just one rule then. The objectives! Make a farm out of a mob spawner, a full set of every armor in the game, defeat a Bastion remnant, defeat the Ender Dragon, and get the Elytra. So this is 100 days in Minecraft Hardcore on a deserted island. So here we are on our desert island, a brand new day. Oh god, who are these?
My name is Jeff.
I've got a couple of cows on here and a tree. Oi, just know, you're only alive for one reason. And one reason only. Alright? Now get out of my sight, I don't want to see you. Why are you bullying me? So I started off by gathering some wood, of course, because that's what everyone does in Minecraft. Punches trees. And then I began to get rid of all of this grass to see if I get myself some seeds. Then I made a pickaxe and some other wooden tools to begin to start making a farm on the shoreline. Because, you know, that's the only source of food at the moment, apart from these two cows. But, don't know here I said that.
What a joker!
The next thing I did, I began to dig out a hole so I could start gathering some cobblestone and some dirt because I wanted to expand this island. So I spent my time getting some stone and pretty much used all of the wooden pickaxe. By that point another tree had grown, so I got that and began to expand the trees across the island, but there wasn't much room, so when night fell I decided it was time to try and expand the island a bit, but and then sunset came, of course, but because there were sheep on here I couldn't sleep anyway, so I had to work through the night. And then I headed back into the mine so I can try and get myself some more dirt. And I was pretty much going to make my whole island hollow by doing this.
Wow.
And sorry you can't see anything, I can't either. And then I expanded the island a bit more, and this was so I can plant some more trees to get some more wood. I made myself a stone sword, I went into the water and began gathering some kelp. I then almost drowned because I didn't realise I had control on and I couldn't get above the water. Oh my god. Oh no!
Hi, how are you?
You've taken over my island already! Oh my god. What am I gonna do? Seriously bro, what is going on? Great, the mobs had already taken over my island, so whilst I was waiting for the sun to rise, I decided to get some fish, which was easier said than done. In the end I just got frustrated and sort of gave up. Oh, come on, son. Rise a little bit more, and that should burn him. Oh, no! I'll let the sun do the dirty work from then on, and return to the island, and chop down the two trees that had grown, to gather some more wood, and get some more saplings too. And then planted a furnace, and I had no coal, so I had to use some wood to cook my kelp. I then tried to do a bit more fishing again. Oh my god, come here, come on!
Bye, have a great time!
Oh! At last the kelp had finally cooked. Although it's pretty rubbish at giving me any food back. And then dug out some more dirt, and at this point I was actually coming to the shore of the island. And then gathered some more cobblestone because I really wanted to find some coal. I thought I'd get lucky and find a bit of coal early on, but this was getting a bit stupid at this point. And then once again darkness had set on the island, and there wasn't really too much I could actually do. So I just decided to do some more mining, just to try and find a little bit of coal, because I really wanted to put some torches on the island to stop any mob spawning. I did this until my pickaxe was pretty much broken. Then day finally came, and I could actually begin to do a little bit of farming, because some wheat had actually grown. And then expanded the farm and expanded the land of the island, because I'd gathered quite a bit of dirt while mining. And then could plant some more trees along the shoreline, and I had a lot of saplings at this point, but I wanted a bit more dirt to expand the island because I need a bit of room to build what I want to build. It's going to be big and ambitious after all. So I got digging in that mine, but I was pretty surprised the island didn't collapse in on itself because it was pretty much completely hollow at this point. And then used this dirt to expand the island a different direction because the cows were really starting to get on my nerves. I just had to get in the way because I was going insane. It was like some form of torture. sound torture. Moo, 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 moo. And then the sun had set again. So I went back into the mine just to find some coal. The Minecraft gods were really not giving any coal to me. So I went back and did a bit of farming again, so I could get some wheat and start mating the cows. But then I noticed something. Oh no, they've taken over that island now. And then I went back into the mine to get a bit more dirt so I could expand the island in the morning when the mobs had despawned. Also looked for some more coal, but you can kind of guess how that went.
Now we play the waiting game.
Not very well at all, because it turns out coal didn't exist in this seed. By the time morning came, I still hadn't found any coal. And then I extended the island again, but I couldn't quite finish it because I didn't have enough dirt yet again. So then I went back and mated the cows, but they were getting on my nerves at this point. I just had to finish this island. So I gathered some more dirt, and I think I had enough this time just to finish it off and get the cows over here because, oh thank God for that sweet mercy. Get them off my island. Whew, we now have 2 islands, and listen, single file, okay? That's it, I'm going to smack those cheeks, get out of the way. There we go. Peace at last. Went back to my island and got rid of some more trees. And then another problem occurred.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh my God! Oh my God. Oh no! Christ, he destroyed half my island! And then the sun set again, and I had plenty more saplings, so I decided to place some saplings all over the place again. I hated my cows, but someone tried to turn them into beef. I couldn't let that happen yet.
Surprise,
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my God! Jesus, that scared the living daylights out of me. Actually, this could be useful if I can find some string. Come on, give me it. Yes! Oh, I got a bit of string. Of course, I actually found iron before coal, so I smelted that so I could actually make an iron pickaxe. There we go. Got myself an iron pickaxe. Returned to the mine, and you know what I did. Dug out loads and loads and loads more cobblestone to try and find, you know, a single piece of coal would be nice. But this went on for ages and ages and ages. And sweet Mary Jesus, I even found lapis before I found coal. And then I went through an entire iron pickaxe before even finding any coal, so I had to revert back to a stone pickaxe. Oh my God. So then I decided to start digging down, as this actually might help me find a bit more coal if I dig a little bit deeper. So I did that for ages and ages and ages and ages again, until yet again I went through another stone pickaxe before finding any coal. I returned to the surface, did a bit more farming, extended the farm a little bit more too. I then went over to feed the cows, but something decided to spawn in. Are you kidding me, bro? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh, alright, here you go, you fat pigs. I had a bit of dirt on me, so I decided to expand the land a bit more too. And man, look at all this cobblestone I have. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Bro, this is it, I'm actually going to find some coal now, I swear.
Like that's ever gonna happen. What a load.
And I did, but I didn't see it. Now, this is how dark it was. I had turned up the brightness on that clip, and the sun set again, and then it started raining, and I still had no coal and no torches. As the ominous claps of thunder went off, I decided to expand the farm, and then went and got some more kelp because I'd practically run out, as it's such a terrible source of food, but the only one I really had. I then returned to my island happy as Larry, but I was a fool. Someone was on there waiting for me.
Hello, cutie pie.
No, what is that noise? What is that noise? Oh my God, they're coming for me! Yes, that's right, the worst mob ever added to Minecraft had spawned in, the Phantom. So I decided to quickly run underground and stay under there for the rest of the night. By the time morning came, my kelp had cooked, and then I decided to go and do a bit more farming, and some more wheat had grown. I also expanded the farm yet again, but this was taking up a lot of room. I decided to return back into the mine. But
Hello there.
the biggest mistake of my life. Okay, slight exaggeration, but it wasn't a warm welcome. This dude's literally got aimbot. Oh, there we go. That's one of them dead. Oh no, 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 no! Oh my god. Oh, I gotta find some torches, man. I really have to find some torches. The only thing I could do is let some natural light in there, so I made some holes. I then fed the foul bovine and decided to make myself another little mine because I couldn't return to that one because the mobs kept spawning in it. And this was to try and find, you know, guess what? Coal. So I dug all the way down and 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 down. And I still couldn't find any coal. And yet, I even went to Bedrock. I found redstone before I found coal. What was I going to find next? Diamonds before coal?
You serious?
But technically I had found coal, of course. But then, at last, I found it. Sweet Mary, Jesus and Joseph on a pogo stick. I had found the remains of dinosaurs. At last! Oh, I feel so good, finally. Why was it so hard to find? I do not know. Never have I ever struggled to find coal that much. But when I returned to the surface, I had a big shock waiting for me up there. Oh no! No, 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 no! Oh, okay, that was slowing down. Oh my god, I hate baby zombies. Die! Die, die, die! Thank you. And you, come on. At least you give me some string. Come on, please, I just want to sleep. Oh, no string. At last, I could finally place some torches around my island to stop these mobs spawning in. My anxiety was through the roof. I then returned to the mine and placed some torches in there too, and made a grave discovery. No, you're actually kidding me. There was coal in here the entire time. I must have just dagged right past it. And then fed the bovine surplus jellies again. Turns out in my excitement of finding that coal, I didn't place torches in the entire cave. So then a creeper spawned in and blew half of it up. I had so much cobblestone at this point that I had to make a chest. The amount of cobblestone I mined, man. So I decided to actually start digging straight down, but then my pickaxe broke, so I went to the surface and did a bit of farming, which was well in need, as I had loads of wheat that had grown at this point. I then started working on another island with what little dirt I had left, and this island would be for the farm. So I had to return to the mine and get myself some more dirt. But at this point, dirt was running pretty thin in the old mine. And the land was becoming seriously undermined. God, there isn't such a thing as silence in Minecraft. I then went back to the cows and spread the seed again. Oh, there's too many of these cows, they might start a revolution, a rebellion. But nevertheless, I extended the crop island. Filled that in as much as I could, but I wanted a few holes anyway, and then began to use my hoe and began to start planting my seeds all over the island. Those selfish cows were eating all the wheat, so I was still eating bona fide seaweed. Then I decided to return to the mine shaft and dig a little deeper to hopefully get to bedrock and start finding myself some diamonds. After reaching the centre of the earth, I forgot to even bring any torches down, so I had to head back up, get some torches, and headed back down again. Finally hit some bedrock, and then came across a cave. Oh yes, yes, a cave. No, what? There's diamonds there? There is no way! Oh my god, wow, this is great. Oh, it's one of those cool green caves as well with the lights. Yes, if only coal was as easy to find as it was diamonds. There we go. And then I found another one, but that wasn't the end of the mine. Oh, wow, some more diamonds. An iron. And then another diamond. Wow. I honestly couldn't believe how easy it was to find diamonds compared to coal. I mean, it's a little ridiculous actually if you think about it. I then found some more diamonds. Oh my god, bro, seriously? Then I came across this. Wait, hang on. No. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, thank god, none of them spawned. I think it's the skeleton spawner. Oh, bro, this could be so useful. Yes! Yes, I found some string! I could finally make a bed! I might as well get some of this gold as well for when I go into the Nether, because I need a bit of armour. And turns out this mine is a lot bigger than I thought. So I began making my way down to the big chasm and came across some diamonds, which I wouldn't have found if I didn't do this. And it was quite a big vein of them too. Just kept going. I was going into a big open chasm now, so I needed some armour, and I went straight to diamond armour. Forget about leather, forget about chain, forget about iron. I was onto diamond. And thank God I did, because the mobs were not happy with me. Then this happened.
Target neutralized.
I had survived. That's the closest I came to death. Let's just say making that diamond armor was the right call. And this cave did not disappoint with diamond armor too. I then cooked some iron so I could make a bucket and gather some water. And then don't worry everybody, I found Nemo. Lots of him. What the hell had gone on here? Some kind of Nemo massacre. I then got jumped by a creeper, but he was very close to some diamonds, so I had to be careful, otherwise he'd blow him up. But then came along his pal, and I found lots more diamonds where that came from. Whew! So I treated myself to a diamond pickaxe so I could start gathering some obsidian. Typical. I then gathered more than enough obsidian, lost most of it to the lava, and made a stupid error. I broken rule number 1. After that debacle, I decided to make my way out of the mine out of pure embarrassment and up to the surface. And I could finally actually make a bed and go to sleep. Whew, there we go. Beautiful. I then made good use of Nemo and his friends, and my god, was he a delicious meal. By this point, all my crops had grown, so I decided to get rid of them all and transfer them over to the crop island, which by this point I had more than enough to actually start making some bread for myself. I decided to go back into the mine and get what little dirt was left out of there so I could finish off the island, as it wasn't quite done. Then when it's done I could finally finish it and plant the rest of the seeds, and then nightfall fell again. The next day I returned and expanded it a little bit more just so I could fit a bit more the seeds in, made the entrance a bit wider and made some crops along that too. I then began clearing all the trees because most of them had grown at this point, and I was getting pretty low on wood. I continued on the next day, and by that point pretty much all the trees were gone. But I didn't really have much land to expand more trees on, so I had to go and get some more dirt out of the mine again. And by that point another day had ended, and then I began to expand the land a little bit, just because I was getting ready to start building the house, and it was going to be a big old one. So I expanded the land, and this was pretty much just to place some trees on. But I completely run out of dirt in the mine, so I decided to start actually getting dirt off of the ocean floor, which was very tedious and slow. But I managed to get the job done, and even expanded the land a little bit more by the end of the next day. And then before sunset I planted some more saplings over on this piece of land and then fed the army of cows. But I was practically out of coal again, so I decided to try and search for some coal, but that was a mistake, and I only came across more iron, which was a lot easier to find. But while down there I did manage to find some dirt, which I took the opportunity of gathering, and then returned to the surface, and it was pitch black, went to bed, and then returned into the mine to try and get some coal again. But that was just a waste of time. Then began to strip mine for some coal, and I did actually finally find some, but it did take quite a while. Oh god, finally some coal. I continued to strip mine and came across a hole of water. I thought it was a water cave, swam all the way up, and along and below it went all the way to the surface. So I returned to the cave. Wow, this ocean is deep. And then left the mine and went to sleep. I found a bit of coal, so of course I could start actually cooking some stone, because a lot of my house is going to be made out of stone. And then I had to clear the land, so I began chopping down all the trees yet again, and there was a lot this time. But I needed a lot of room, and started to begin building the foundation for my house. It wasn't really going to be a house, it was going to be more like a castle. As, I wanted to try something a bit different. I don't really do many castles, so I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to make like a massive fort on an island. I had loads of saplings, so I expanded the trees again, not as many this time, and then continued my foundation for the house. And filled in the gaps with stone bricks, just to add a bit of definition to the building. But the reason I'm making so much out of cobblestone and stone is because I have so much of the stuff after trying to find all that coal. So this really made my decision for me. I then built a little bridge across because I was going to make it a symmetrical building. There was also going to be a tower on this side too. This house really is going to be giant. I mean, it was a little bit too giant to be honest in the end. But I was having fun building it. I then had to cook some more stone because I had run out. And then continued to build the second tower. They were then at the same level. I was just making this up as I was going along, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be the top or not. And then began work on a third tower. This one was going to be a little bit different and obviously not symmetrical. And someone tried to come and ruin my farm. I don't know where he came from, but it then withered away into a well done piece of steak, which I quite enjoyed. I then continued my work on the third tower. This one I really had no idea what I was going to do with it. I thought of making a massive tower, maybe putting a nether port at the top. That's really all I had in mind. Then the day had ended again and I had run out of stone bricks yet again. Next day I decided to clear a bit of land to level it out, but of course it's all hollow, so I had to fill that back in with the dirt I had just taken away. I continued work on the two main towers. I wanted to build like a nice archway, which of course wasn't finished yet, but this was the start of it. I had to make it look a bit more defined. These two towers were going to be joined with a little bridge in the middle. And then decided to make them a little bit taller. And by a little bit, I mean quite a bit. This was just mainly going around in circles, placing blocks, until I decided, yeah, that would do. And as I was about to go to sleep, this happened.
Oh, hell no!
Oh my god! Oh, that was so close. Imagine I went to sleep then. Oh my god, he's in my building! No. Stay away. Oh my god. Whew, thank god for that. Oh. The next day I continued to build onto the towers again. We're getting pretty high at this point. So much so that a fall from this height could be potentially lethal. And then I thought, yeah, that would do. So I decided to start actually capping them. Next day I woke up and returned to the mine, but I was not prepared for what there was in there. What the hell? Oh my god! Bro, where are these mobs coming from? I thought I placed torches in here. Turns out I didn't place enough torches. The reason I was in the mine this time was to, yeah, you guessed it, try and find some more coal. I'd run out cooking all that stone. So I strip mined again, and then this happened. What the hell?
Bruh.
Oh my god. I must be near it. Really? That puts an end to that. Oh my god. Yes, I had mining fatigue. I was clearly mining underneath the underwater monument. What are the odds? The crops were all grown at this point, so I spent some time getting rid of that. I then worked into the night replacing all of the wheat I had just mined, and then fed the already overpopulated bovine island, and started work on a little bit of my interior design. I was just getting a feel for things. Well, mainly I had to get up to the second floor to continue my work on the towers. I then continued working on the towers and just trying to make it a little bit more defined at the top, and put some brick walls in to make my castle doom look even cooler. And then also joined them at the top with a little walkway. And by the time I did that, it was night again. I dropped down and they were actually looking pretty good. I then began work on the bottom of them just to try and make them look a little bit better. And then decided it'd be nice if I put a bit of wood in, I think. Just a little bit around the window sills. So that's what I did. I mined out the gaps, and it was looking a bit flat in the middle, so I decided to put some walls in the middle as well, which gave it a lot more definition. And I ran out of stone bricks again, but also ran out of stone. So I had to head back into the mine to try and find some more coal again. Which I actually did. I actually did find some coal. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then found some more iron, of course. And actually found some more coal. I momentarily thought I died when water dropped on me and everything went to black. And then came across this. I can't see anything. What the... Oh no! This is a mine shaft, yes! But the neighbours weren't happy already that I had found it. Whoa! Oh my god, you didn't see me. Oh! You see me now! Die! Oh god. Oh, yes, some coal. Brilliant. Yeah, I found some more coal in this mine shaft. And a bit more too. Tell you what, I was actually finding a lot of coal now. This was going good. Even found some more. It's a bit ironic that I find all this coal in an abandoned mine shaft when the whole purpose of this mine shaft would have been to find coal. I began making my way through, but there was plenty of mobs, and yeah, again I found some more coal. But turns out this mine was actually connected to the mine I was in before. And I returned to the surface via my actual steps I made. I had plenty of coal now, so I decided to make some more furnaces so I could cook some iron and I'd cook a bit more stone too. And I continued work on the towers, actually finishing my archway. Look at that, that's pretty cool. I then began a little bit more interior work in the first tower on the second floor. I also did the window sills on the second floor too. And began work on the third floor. Don't know what I was going to use all these rooms for, but the more the merrier, I suppose. And then I finished that floor and went up to the third floor and also did the window sills on that because it looked quite good with the wood on the outside too. Otherwise it's a bit too bland. And then finished up on the bridge in between them, and then did some DIY scaffolding so I could add some definition to the very tops of the tower, as they needed a bit of defining too. I don't know why I didn't come up with this idea when I was building it, but retrofitting it was a little bit more tedious and annoying. And then the rain came in as I was putting the top of the roof on the towers. But I wasn't done there. I began work on another little tower on top of the tower. Yeah, I wanted to make some spires now. I was going a bit crazy with my ideas and very, very ambitious. But yeah, I was quite enjoying it, to be honest with you. I was then attacked by a creeper, but there was some collateral damage. I returned to the top of the tower and continued my work on it, and then finally decided, yeah, it's tall enough. So I capped it there and made a little room at the top. Not that I'd use these rooms, they're just purely for show. I then finished that up and continued with the roof and made a pretty tall spire. Okay, yeah, that's it, yeah, that'll do. Oh, that looks pretty cool. That's pretty cool, yeah. I think now I've got to make another one on the other side. Did some final touches on that tower. Also added some definition in the middle. I tried to do some scaffolding to get around. I then actually started to fill in some of the interior of the second tower. For some reason there was a tree inside it too. This needed a floor, so I also filled that in with wood. And then continued work on the second floor. I wasn't quite sure I was going to do the staircases yet, so I just left that for now, and also filled in the window sills on the second floor too, and began work on the third floor, so I could go and do the window sills on that floor too. I also finished off the roof on this floor with more cobblestone, and then began work on the second spire on the second tower. which took quite a long time to do too. Sunset came and I was pretty much done with it. I just needed to do the top. I was then rudely attacked by a skeleton. I then continued work on the second spire and finishing that up, and did the roof on it. Did the little very top of the spire, and it was bing bang bong ready to go. But I then had another surprise. Bro, where are these mobs actually spawning from? Oh my god. Next day I then added some more definition to the second tower. Pretty much did the same thing as I did to the other one. I then looked at it and thought, wow, that's pretty cool, I'm quite happy with that. But of course I wasn't done there. I actually wanted to make it so you could climb up these towers. And yet again, I thought it needed a bit of wood, so that's what I did. I replaced a lot of the cobblestone with wood. It was dark, so I had to return back into the house to go to sleep.
Hi, how are
And I had
you?
a shocking surprise. Oh my god! No! Oh, I can't get out! Oh, I can't get up here, thank god. I thought I was gone then. Oh, thank god for that. But he had friends. He was not happy. He wanted some vengeance. Oh, so I went to sleep, but had a bit of a rude awakening.
Get over here!
Oh god, please, just give it up. My god, look at the bling this one's wearing. Christ almighty. This might give me a chance to get some chain armour though. Oh, yes! I then continued filling in the wood on the second tower to make that a bit more visually pleasing too. I also made ladders to the very top of that one as well. Not that I'd ever come up here, but the option is there if I ever wanted it. Right, I need to go and get some...
Surprise,
No! Oh, are you kidding me?
I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah, after filling in that hole the creeper made, I began work on my third tower. As the first two were pretty much done, but this one was going to be even taller. It was wide, of course, but yeah, taller. Which is going to take a lot more cobblestone and stone bricks. Then of course I worked into the night with this one a little bit too, until I ran out of bricks and had to jump off. And somehow I was almost completely out of cobblestone. While returning to the top of the tower, something caught my eye. What the hell? I then continued making the third tower. But I ran out of bricks again, so I went to bed and then returned to the top of the tower with quite a bit more bricks. And then I decided, yeah, this is tall enough, so I capped it there. But I was practically out of cobblestone now. I had some bricks, but I was out of cobblestone. I then returned to the house, but a spooky, scary skeleton claimed squatters' rights. I soon dealt with him though. But his green mate left his mark. Yes, he exploded my chest completely. Couldn't have been in a worse spot. I hate it when this happens. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity to actually start to begin my chest room. I then gathered some more wood and just shoved all of the stuff in this chest to begin with, and thought about sorting it out later. I then finally decided to solve my problem and actually place some torches in my house. I should have done it a lot longer ago. What the hell is happening here? I then returned to the top of the tower to finish that off because I had a bit more stone and a bit more cobblestone. I then began to work on the roof, but yet again I completely ran out of stone stairs. But the crops had completely grown at this point, so I decided to clear them, get rid of all of them and plant some new ones. Then night had set in again. But I had some more stone steps now, and finish off the roof of the house. Well, I wish I did, but this time I ran out of cobblestone, and I had none left. I can't believe it, I actually had to go and mine for cobblestone. The benefit of this was I actually found some coal, but yeah, crazy to think I went through all of that cobblestone, and that was pretty much all the coal I found. And I just gave up on the mine then, sealed it, and went to bed again. Next day I woke up and cooked some more stone and headed to the top of the tower to finally finish that off. At last, it is complete. I then returned to the viewing point and it looked pretty cool, but yeah, it just needed a bit of wood again, I believed. How did I make the same mistake twice? I don't know. So I went around chopping down all the logs looked at the tower and yeah, definitely needed a bit more definition. I decided to clear all the sand out underneath it first so I could fill it in with some dirt, but I also needed the sand to make windows for the tower. There's a little bit of dirt down here too, so I took my opportunity and got that as well. Yes, I can't miss the opportunity of free dirt, can I now? Also began work on a little cozy cut through alleyway. Plenty of stone was cooked, but I needed to cook some sand now to turn it into glass. And I decided to finally fill in this tower with some wood at the bottom. Continued my work on the little cutway and actually started to make some nice paths. But I continued to make this cozy little alleyway. But I also had plenty of dirt now, so I decided to expand the land a bit towards the cows, who were literally overflowing from the island at this point, but I wasn't giving them extra room. But one of them mooed at me funny, and that was it. I lost it. I couldn't control myself anymore. I went on a slaughtering spree. And killed most of those bovine surplus jellies until the last two were left. You listen to me, Colin. You've seen what happened here today. Yes, I murdered your entire family in cold blood, okay? You move at me like that again, and you'll be next on the dinner plate. And then chopped down some more trees as well to get a bit more wood, as I was getting quite low on it now. A lot of the glass had cooked at this point, so I started to fill in the windows in the house, which took quite a long time because there was, yeah, a lot of windows. I mean a lot. I then had to begin work on the third tower and filling that in with wood and windows. By the time I was finished, it was completely pitch black. Thank God that job was over. I then made a very stupid mistake and almost died. That was lucky. But the tower was pretty much done. I just need to fill in the windows at the top now. Look at that. Beautiful. I was pretty much happy with it, but I just wanted to add a bit more wood. Returned to the viewing point again and then thought, needs a bit more definition at the top. So I added another layer to the roof. And added a bit of a taller tower. And then wouldn't you believe it, my pickaxe broke on the last brick. And then took a massive leap of faith. And at last I had finished the castle. I then decided to clean things up a bit and make a little path around the castle and through the middle. And then mine some dirt. I didn't have anything to fit it in, so I had to go back down and get it. And then made a path to my bed for some reason. Went to sleep. Woke up the next day and cleared all the sand out of the way and filled it in with more dirt. And then made a path all the way down and around in a circle and all the way to the cows. Also expanded a bit more of the land over to the cows and then placed a few more trees around the castle. I then continued work on the third tower, filling in the bottom floor. The next day I decided to head up to the top of the tower and actually put in the Nether portal, as this is where it would be. I had to find some sort of use for it, and at last the Nether portal was complete and I was ready to go in. And I went in and forgot. I probably needed a bow and arrow. And finally went and got myself a bow and arrow. Then made my way back to the Nether, and I was in a very bad place, right on the edge of a cliff, in a soul sand biome. Although I did need soul sand, skeletons so much. Speak of the devil, and they appear. But I easily dealt with him. Didn't even have to lay a finger on the guy. Found some quartz and got some more XP, even though I didn't really need it, because I couldn't use it at the moment. Then found out that I was really high up, and one wrong move and I'd be off the edge. Also took this opportunity to get some soul sand. Began making my way off the soul sand biome, and made a bridge, which was quite risky, especially when skeletons can spawn in here. I then watched Pumbaa get absolutely slaughtered, but turns out he didn't die and he came back for vengeance.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
And things got a bit heated. I then came across a site that I'd never seen before. A ruined nether portal in the nether, which was pretty cool. Oh bro, I finally found it. The nether fortress. Oh my god, is that arrow? Oh god, that was so close. I cannot let him push me off the edge now. I then entered the nether fortress, fighting off the 9'9" wither skeletons. This is Sparta! Nice. I then found the blaze spawner, but they only spawn in when you turn your back on them. There you go.
Surprise,
I was
motherfucker.
getting absolutely bombarded by them. They were taking no prisoners today. But I found another one which was in a much less open area, but it was heavily guarded with skelly bobs. But I took them out with ease, and slowly but surely took out the blaze and the spawner. I also came across some chests which were quite generous to me, giving me some diamonds. The blood pressure was pretty high, so I decided to leave the nether for a bit. But then of course it got even higher when this happened.
Hello there.
And I couldn't even attack him. What was going on? I then had to gather a bit more kelp, and this was actually for a different reason. I was going to make an elevator to the top of the nether portal room. This was quite a tedious thing to do though, but once it's done it's going to make it a lot easier for me to get to the top. And I forgot how it worked. I needed to place another brick wall, but I decided just to commit with planting all of the kelp first. And I dropped down, put the second wall in to stop the water overflowing, and then got rid of all the kelp so then I could float up to the top. Woo, look at that. Perfect. A couple of signs ought to do the trick to stop the water coming out. Perfect. And now I had to make the drop down tube, which worked perfectly fine, and we were done with the tower. Then I decided to work on my chest room at last, which was going to be the bottom floor of the second tower. I had a lot of stuff to sort out though, such as a food chest, stone chest, materials chest. It took me quite a bit of time. Then I decided to start work on the staircase in the first room. And I was going to go for a double staircase and try and make things look very nice and symmetrical and fit with the aesthetic of the outside. Once I'd done that, I began work on the staircase to the third floor, which was going to be a little bit different but also symmetrical. And then I had to make some steps up to the bridge to get over to the other side. And I was quite happy with this design really, but I made a little bit more intricate and defined on the bottom floor. And then finally decided to move my bed actually into the house and onto the very top floor. Yep, this is all I need. I then got rid of my floating furnaces. This would be my so-called forge. I then made a few doors and placed them about. I then pretty much did the same exact thing in the other tower, tower number 1, as I did in the second tower, to make it exactly the same and symmetrical. I actually ran out of wood, so I had to go and mine pretty much all the trees again. But at this point I had millions of saplings, so it wasn't a problem. I then also made some blast furnaces and some smokers, so I could actually speed up the process of making food or iron. They will forge look a little bit more pleasing. And went to bed. The next day I began work in the first tower to actually build some steps down to the mine, because I had filled in the outside entrance, and then began to dig down another hole. Did a bit more strip mining because I wanted to find some more coal, but this wasn't very successful, so I decided to do the alternative, which was make buckets and head down into the mine and get myself some lava. While down here though, I was hunting for some more diamonds and ran into a bunch of spiders who were really ferocious. My god. Found a bit more lava. Bro, it's another spawner. Oh my god! Oh, this is a spider spawner. Ah, cool. Diamond horse armor. Oh, I'll take it, even though I'm never going to find a horse. I then found loads of lava, but chucked a bucket in there. I didn't realise my inventory was full. I also found another diamond above the lava. But then all hell was set loose on me. And I was very nearly killed. And decided to climb Nemo's fall. I just hoped my fate wouldn't be the same as Nemo, but thankfully not. I survived. And began actually strip mining, which kind of worked. It wasn't long before I found some diamonds. And then I found another cave, a completely different one. Yeah, bro, I'm not going in there. I'm going to let him come through the hole. And this cave fared pretty well as well. I found some more diamonds in here, and some more diamonds over here. But I got bombarded by some zombies and creeper. At that point I decided to make my way out of the cave and back to the surface. And now I had lava, I could finally cook some of my meat and cook some of my iron, because I just couldn't find the coal. I decided to then actually build an anvil because I had plenty of iron, but not much cobblestone, so I went back into the mine and dug out some more of the iron to make some more cobblestone. I wanted to make my forge a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, so I decided to put some stone blocks underneath the anvil, but don't anvils drop? Yeah, turns out they do. But luckily they can be mined. I then continued decorating the first tower, just playing about until I found out what worked. And in the end I was pretty happy with how it looked. I then also decided to make my armor stands, and of course I'd need 5 for this. Finding the armor was the harder bit. I had a good start of the chain armor and the chest plate, but it would be the hardest one to achieve, of course. And of course I'm not going to be able to find netherite, but I used my diamonds to make another full set of diamond armor, because I imagine when I go and fight the Ender Dragon I need to replace it anyway, and I'll put my old one on there. I then expanded the island a bit more towards the cows. I let them free because I wasn't going to make them anymore. But I wanted to make the island quite a bit bigger, which is going to take quite a significant amount of dirt, like a lot of dirt. So I had to return to the ocean to try and get some more dirt. I made a little hole for myself so I could just dig it a lot easier. Quite a good method, and this went on for about 5-10 minutes till I had plenty of dirt, and then I expanded the island again. I was in for a surprise though when I returned to get some more dirt, when someone had spawned in down there. I took care of him though, and continued work on expanding the land, but this dirt was not going very far. I decided to make some lakes as well, but I was a fool to believe it wouldn't happen again, and I had a shocking surprise when I went into my next hole and there was a witch in there who poisoned me. Thankfully I survived, but I continued to go and get some more dirt, but it was running pretty thin, the old dirt supplies now. But thankfully I think I was pretty much done with expanding the land. In order to save dirt I decided to make a few little ponds and lakes on the land. Bro, what are you actually doing in my room? Get out! The next day, work continued on expanding the land, and at this point I have pretty much finished, so I planted a bunch more trees all the way over the landscape. And I had plenty of bone meal, so I decided to make it look a bit more natural and a bit more wild, and place a bunch of wildflowers. But with all this expansive land at night, I know exactly what's going to happen, so I went around placing a bunch of torches as well, stopping the inevitable. I then returned back down to the mine to finally actually start work on the mob spawner. But I wanted to make this an elevator as well, so I decided to dig up and into the ocean. But I was actually almost going to drown. It was deep, really deep. So now I know exactly where it was, I can actually start to build my elevator. So I built a little bridge all the way out to the hole, and then began work on making a tube, which was quite tedious work. I then went to bed only to return to the bridge to find a green mean killing machine on the end of it, trying to ruin everything. I continued work on the tedious elevator. was pretty much sealed at this point, so I got rid of all of the stone in the middle and began digging my way straight down, filling in the gaps in the spiral staircase in order not to fall on them when you jump down the hole. And the hole was complete, so I jumped all the way down, making it right the way down to where the spawner was. Also destroyed all the kelp, placed my signs to stop the water leaking, and the elevator was done. And it worked perfectly. I returned to the surface, got some buckets of water so I could begin making my mob spawner. I dug all the way down about 13 blocks so the skeletons could take as much damage as possible without dying. I then began work on the bottom room and another elevator to take me up to the level of the spawner. This one wouldn't be nearly as high, but I thought I'd like to do a little elevator on here too to make it even quicker. I then began work on putting water in each corner of the mob spawner in order to push the skeletons down into the hole. This took a bit of trial and error, but I got there in the end. I actually came across some diamonds while putting this water in. It was almost finished at this point. I just had to seal the bottom of it to make sure the skeletons couldn't shoot me, but I could still attack them, which was relatively easy to do. I then tested it, went down, killed my first skeleton, but there was a problem. I couldn't get any of the stuff. I needed the stuff, of course, to get their arrows. It's the only way I could make arrows. So I had to make a change. Place the torch at the bottom, and so I returned to the surface to get some more wood so I could begin to make some chests. You can probably see where I'm going with this. I made a bunch of chests, headed back down, placed loads of chests below the bottom of the mob spawner and some hoppers, and then I dug a little bit further underneath them so I could actually open the chests. So I tested it, it worked. I killed a skeleton with 2 bits of chain armor. I just need the helmet now, and they began dropping like dominoes perfectly. There'd be times though when they start attacking each other, so I had to actually kill them all. But it's working brilliantly for getting XP and all sorts of bows and enchanted bows and armor pieces, and of course arrows. I switched to a sword because I could do sweep damage with it, which was much more effective than the axe. I was beginning to get quite a bit of arrows at this point, which was very useful, and some bone. And then did this for quite a few days. I just waited in here because it was the only way I was going to get arrows. I then decided to return to the surface and put my chain armor on the stand, and also make an enchanted bow and just repair my pickaxe, the last diamond I had. I then had a bunch more bone meal, so I decided to go all the way around the island and just put as much wildflowers and grass as I possibly could. I then gathered a bit more cobblestone. By a bit I mean a lot, so I can start cooking some more stone to continue making my bridge to the lift because it was a bit ugly. And I also wanted to make a harbour as well, and I began working on the harbour wall, but I ran out of cobblestone again, so I had to go get some more. I had some walls left over, so I decided to use them. Continued work on the harbour wall, filled in a little bit of land here. I had some bricks cooked now, so I could actually put some bricks in as a wash wall. I then decided to build a break wave for this ocean, quote unquote, as it's more like a lake, isn't it? There's no waves at all. Just need some torches now for the mob spawn over it. I then put some mooring bollards in and also made some wooden pontoons. I continued to finish my wash wall. I also wanted to finish the Nether portal because I was going to return to it. Return to the Nether. We're back. This time what's going to happen? Straight away I was clocked by gas. And a skeleton who fell off the edge. And Pumbaa was back for vengeance. And he wasn't happy. There was no Hakuna Matata this time. I knew I didn't have enough blaze rods, so I had to return to the fortress to get a bit more of them. But they don't really have a high drop rate, and I was absolutely getting bombarded by them. I found some more chests, which had useless to me stuff in. Made my way through the halls of the fortress, and it was absolutely tanking hit after hit after hit from the blazes. They were doing some decent damage to me. I was getting worried. By this point, I'm pretty much as many blaze rods as I needed. So I moved on to my next objective. Find and defeat a Bastion fortress. And I found one with relative ease. And I took out most of them from a distance with the plentiful arrows I had. This is why I needed to make a mob spawn grinder to get all these arrows, otherwise I have no way to get them. It was like open season duck hunting, but for hogs. And then slowly but surely made my way into the fortress itself. But I was scared of these guys, they're brutes. Just as long as they kept away from me, because they do 4 hearts of damage and they are strong. They were tanking my arrows. Eventually I did slowly make it to the bottom. And I had the magma cubes to deal with, the annoying magma cubes. My god, they were overwhelming me. I switched to a crossbow at this point because it was a little bit faster and easier to shoot. And slowly but surely took out most of the magma cubes, but I really needed to take out the spawner, which eventually I managed to do. Oh my god, that is over with. But there were still a few to deal with before I could loot the chests. And they almost hit me into the lava. It was so close. I was getting overwhelmed, so I decided to get out of there, take my time, shooting from the distance, and looted the chests, which had reasonably good looting. But I would hardly say it was worth it from all the stress I went through to get it. I stole their gold and left the building. Finally found a warped forest where I could get some ender pearls. I spent quite a long time here gathering up quite a few ender pearls. And I had about 11, which would just about do, I reckoned. So I returned to the overworld and left the Nether for the last time. And then made my Eyes of Ender. And then returned to the mob spawner because I needed to get some more arrows for the end, as I'd gone through a lot of them in the Nether. And spent a few days here just taking out skeleton after skeleton and gathered up plenty of arrows and retired my original set of diamond armor and switched out for the new one, and finished the armor challenge by placing the chain helmet on top of the chain armor. Went down into the mine because I wanted to find some more diamonds. But I felt like Rick waking up in the hospital with the amount of zombies there were down in that mine. I didn't know what was going on, but it was like an apocalypse down there. And slowly but surely picked them off one by one and managed to survive. Then found a beautiful cave, which was pretty light, which I liked because I didn't have any torches whatsoever. Found some diamonds, just a few, just enough. Returned to the home, went to bed and made some golden apples, and then decided to, well, leave base forever. Leave the island forever. This is the one time I could leave the island. The nearest land was miles away. So I slowly but surely made my way towards wherever the ender portal was. I gave up on the boat because it's really hard to control on Java with a controller. And just swam most of the way. I went into the night. Slowly but surely made my way to land. Yes, I was off the island down on land for the first time. But it was the only way I was going to make it to the end. I felt like I was cheating a bit, but then my arch nemesis returned, the baby zombie.
Oh, hell no!
And he was not happy with me, but I defeated him with ease. I finally discovered whereabouts the ender portal was, made my way down, found some coal at last so I could actually make some more torches, which was great. I then bumped into a witch who didn't stand a chance. I actually found some stone brick, so I knew this is where the end portal was. Made my way inside, found a chest pretty quickly, but they weren't happy with me when I was jump scared out of the chest by a zombie.
Surprise, mother.
Took care of him, made my way down some spiral staircase until I actually came across the portal. Wow, quite a bit easier to find than usually takes me about 2 or 3 days to find it in this maze. But I felt like Benny Hill trying to stop all these silverfish. They were coming out of every nook and cranny. I got overwhelmed. I had to destroy the spawner. But the zombies weren't done with me yet. They gave me one last effort. I got jumped by a bunch of them. One in full golden armour. He was having none of it. But they were quickly and swiftly shut down. I still had to make my way through this illogical maze because I still needed to find the library, of course, to enchant all my armour. I actually came across a spawner as well, which was pretty cool. But I did finally find that library where I could then actually build an enchantment table and enchant my gear. The only way I was actually going to be able to do it, being deserted on an island. There wasn't enough books, so then I had to make some more bookshelves, of course. Thankfully I had plenty of wood and there was books everywhere, of course, so this was done with relative ease. And at this point I could actually get level 30 enchantments, so I began to enchant my armour and then enchanted my armour pieces. Thankfully I had plenty of XP so I could do this, just enough actually. Returned to the end portal, filled in the eyes, and I didn't have enough, but I did, because of course I had some ender pearls. Just need to make a crafting table, and there it was done. I just need to do one more thing first though. I forgot to take any water with me, so I had to go and find some water. But it wasn't going to be easy, was it? No, it never is. The mobs were not having it. They were coming at every nook and cranny and I was getting destroyed. I had to back out of there. I was being attacked by skeletons, and not only that, those spiders came out the nooks and crannies. Skeletons were hitting me, creepers were coming up to me. It was all going on. They were not having it. Then a bunch of zombies came out of nowhere. Skeletons continued, creepers came along, more zombies, more creepers. Oh my god, it never ended. Oh, but I finally got another bucket of water and headed back down to the portal, and now it was time for this porcupine to go in. I had to bridge my way over to the centre where the Ender Dragon was, of course, and mined my way through. I gathered some more building blocks because I might need these to climb the tower anyway. Eventually made my way to the surface and made my way to the first tower. And this is what I need the bucket of water for, in case I fall off. Placed the bucket of water down, made my way up to the top. Took out the first one, made my way back down, hit some of the dragon's breath, and I was on a heart and a half. I had to take one of my apples. My god, that stuff's powerful. Made my way up to the second tower, took that one out too, dropped down, shot a couple more, got hit by some dragon's breath as well, took out a couple more, headed up another really tall one which I couldn't get to from the ground, shot another one, and then somehow, of course, I accidentally looked at Enderman. Thankfully I took him out. Made my way up to the top of another tower, took out that one and took out the last one, and I could begin attacking the dragon, which took absolutely ages. He was flying all over the place. I tried to attack him when he was down, but I couldn't reach his head. He was even cheating at one point and going through blocks and sweeping through Endermen like they were bowling pins. Tried to attack him when he was down, but I got flung by one of his wings. He was then spinning round in circles like a ballerina, but I was having none of it. And then made the age-old mistake of looking at another Enderman, but wasn't having none of that. No thank you, mate. Continued chipping away at the dragon, slowly but surely. until eventually he was practically dead. Shot him a couple more times and blasted him into smithereens. And like that, I just defeated the Ender Dragon on hardcore. All this glorious XP. What am I going to do with it? Nothing. There's one last thing to do though, and that's get to the end portal. I made a silly mistake though. That almost cost me my life. Yep, I'm definitely going to build up to it now. That was a silly mistake. And I can see the end city. I just had to make my way to it. Took some risky shots. But I was running low on ender pearls, so I had to try and get some more. Which was easier said than done when the enderman kept falling off. So I decided to just go over there with one of the couple of pearls I had left, then made my way to the end city, which had a ship on it, but the shockers were having none of it. I was absolutely overwhelmed by the amount of shockers, and they were just lifting me up into oblivion. I felt like Mary Poppins, but I had no control over the umbrella. Thankfully there was a roof on this place, but I was actually blown out of the tower. And I managed to find a little sill that I could just hide on, and I made my way back inside and to the chest, which had some glorious loot in, and I was quite sad that I wouldn't be able to use it apart from these feather falling boots, which were fantastic. But then I hit the roof and I was hit by another shocker, and I was too late to place some water, and I kept getting hit and flying up even further. The further I would go, the more fall damage I would take. So I decided to let them hit me so I could go up further. That's the only option I had to try and get to the top of this tower and survive. But I wasn't taking a risk. I shot my last ender pearl, made my way up to the next couple of chests, found some really good loot too in there, and started to bridge my way over to the ship. But there was a couple of shockers over there which could potentially kill me and send me flying into the abyss, but I took them out from a distance swiftly. I was then safe to continue over to the ship. Made my way inside, killed the last one, and at last the last challenge was complete. I had myself the elytra. I needed some more bricks to get it back up to the portal to get out of here, so I had to mine some bricks here so I could tower up to the portal, but I only had one ender pearl left.
Ooh, you suck!
It missed somehow, so then I had to take out some endermen which kept falling off the edge, but I managed to get one that didn't fall off the edge, but its pearl did. Great. So it took me a little while longer to finally get another pearl, and then actually finally did make it back to where the enderman was and out of there and back to the base. The only problem was I needed to make some fireworks now in order to fly with the elytra, but of course I had no sugarcane to make paper, and I had no food, so I had to get rid of all of the wheat and make some bread. And I did actually leave the deserted island just for one little thing, and that's of course to get sugarcane. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to fly with the elytra. A little bit of a cheat, but it was only just to get a little bit of sugarcane, get some paper, finally craft some fireworks and fly back to the base, which was quite a long way back. I was then being attacked by something fishy in the water. He was back one last time to try and stop me, but he couldn't. The baby zombie. I legged it out of there and flew around the base as the sun rised on the 100th day, which was very satisfying to see my creation from this high up. I almost actually killed myself while flying with... I almost actually killed myself on the 100th day. That would be quite embarrassing, wouldn't it? But with that done, and it being the 100th day, flying around the deserted island with my elytra, I had actually done it. I survived 100 days on Minecraft Hardcore on a deserted island. If you did enjoy this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing for more 100 day hardcore challenges in Minecraft, and comment down below your favourite part in the video. I'd really love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, goodbye.